Our Nation Sports Show.
Tonight, on a Nation Sports Show, we break down the first full weekend of games in the National Football League. This past Thursday, it was the Chiefs and the Ravens kicking off the regular season at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City beat Baltimore in a game of inches. On Friday, it was the first NFL game played in Brazil. It was the Philadelphia Eagles facing the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles survived the Packers in a wild game. Late stages in the fourth quarter, Packers starting quarterback Jordan Love left the game with a sprained MCL. Love will miss 3 to 6 weeks of action. Can Green Bay weather this early storm early on as the regular season continues? Some of the games from Sunday's schedule we recap include the Texans beating the Colts in a close one. The Rams and the Lions was the first game in the 2024 season to go into overtime. It was a great way to kick off the Sunday night football schedule. And on Monday night, the San Francisco 49ers dominated Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And tonight, we bring to you our Week 2 prediction battles. And more. It's showtime.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday. You know what that means. It is our Nation Sports Show, and you wanted the best in the sports talk world. You've got the best, and that is us here today with you. We thank you guys for joining us. I am Ezra Vickery here with everybody. It's going to be a fun show, and we got a lot to talk about. First week of NBA action, first week, or NFL, excuse me, first week of that. And we're going to give our, of course, reviews on that, and of course, our week 2 predictions as well. We got a lot, and of course, all the news that broke this past week on all fronts, and we'll get into all of that in just a few minutes. But of course, the ways you can interact with us right now is, of course, at Owen_Sports Show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and YouTube, where we are live currently at Our Nation Sports Show. Follow us there, subscribe and share with your friends, your family, your enemies, your frenemies, whoever you desire. Also, don't forget to follow Nation's Corner at The Nation's Corner on YouTube and on Instagram, and Nation's Corner across Nation's Corner on Facebook and on the Twitter machine. That's our sister show where they talk all things professional wrestling. Please hit them up for all your professional wrestling needs, as the guys and gal cover everything from AEW All Out this past Saturday to explosive Monday Night Raw and what happened tonight on NXT, and of course this week on Friday SmackDown and TNA Impact. So definitely check all that out. Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, youtube.com/The Nation's Corner. Also, don't forget to follow my group at Too Sweet Cosplay. We're currently on a little bit of a hiatus right now as the con scene's kind of slowed down. We had some representation at Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia, through one of our good buddies, and WorfCon over in San Diego. So we're having a little bit of intercountry expansion, so check that out at Two Sweet Cosplay across all socials for all your cosplay and wrestling needs there as well. All right, enough of me going on and on and on about this bullshit. Let's get to who we got here today, and that is, of course, the man who just jumped in the group with us at the start of the show, our good buddy, JT. Don't arrest me. I'm not Justin Timberlake or Tyreek Hill. Joey Thornton, what's going on?
Okay, first off, I guess I'm a better citizen than those two put together. But as far as athletes or celebrities are concerned, not a chance. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. Yeah, I got on just a teensy bit late because I had to finish up some stuff, but I'm here, ready to talk some football, because that's pretty much what we're going to be talking mostly about anyways. And I guess you can throw some other sports in there also. Baseball is starting to wind down a little bit, so got a few games to go there. NBA is going to be starting up sometime next month. But, hey, why the heck am I still talking? Let's do this thing.
I know I was asking that question myself. But anyways. We have with us now the patriarch of this show, my heavy metal brother from North Carolina. A man who is the hardest hitting drummer in the world. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was describing Mike Portnoy. My bad. I mean, you do look like Mike Portnoy. You do look like Mike Portnoy if he was broke in jail living somewhere else. But no, I'm just kidding. This is my dude, my brother here, Big Stevie Wyand. What's going on, my brother?
You'll just take me as I am. But anyways, what is going on, everybody?
A lot of images and words running through my head.
I'm pretty sure. I'll give you some of my train of thoughts right now. Speaking of Dream Theater, nice little segue. They announced the tour here in North America starting in February, the weekend of the Super Bowl. They'll be going through Atlanta and Raleigh and Toronto and New York at the end of the month or towards the middle of March. Boston and Chicago, among other cities. Philadelphia is where the tour is going to start. Looking forward to that new record to come out maybe sometime this year or next year. Who knows? Only thing I know is I'm very excited that Mike is back in the band. And obviously he joined the band last year and they began work on this new album pretty much a couple of months into when he came back into the band. So it'll be interesting to see how the tour in Europe goes in October, and I'm pretty sure we'll be getting some album details with a new single and the full details of the album, pretty soon rather than later. And obviously we got week 1 of the NFL kicking off over the weekend with the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Packers and the Eagles in Brazil, which was a very interesting game. And of course, among other games, such as the Rams and the Lions on Sunday Night Football and the Texans and the Colts and all of that and in between. So with that being said, let's do this, boys.
Oh, I agree, man. We got a lot to get into, and we're going to get started here in just a moment. But I gotta say about the insult I just threw at Joey. That was like a syringe to the mouth. Just that swerve.
At least it wasn't unprotected.
Who asked you?
At least it wasn't unprotected.
Yeah. Oof. But
Who asked both of you?
But no, we do got a lot to get into. Let's start off with a few other news notes. Let's see right here. Speaking of football, let's get into this. Adrian Peterson has to turn over numerous assets to pay off a $12 million debt.
Oof.
Dang, that ain't good.
No, it is not.
No, because he took out a $5.2 million loan in 2016 and never paid it back. He had an $8.3 million judgment against him in 2021. It's almost like the final year.
These off the field issues whenever an athlete gets involved, it's hard for them to get out of it because it's always going to follow them.
Yeah, basically at this point. Let's see here. Others to get into. Oh yeah. Let's talk about real quick here. Let's get into the world of the NBA. First off, happy 50th birthday to the one, the only Ben Wallace. So happy birthday to
The
him.
Afro legend.
Yes, sir.
Also known as one of the worst free throw shooters of all time.
He's right up there with Dwight Howard. But then again, Dwight Howard is a 3-point shooting legend in freaking in wherever China.
That's funny.
Jamal Murray has signed a 4-year maximum contract worth $208 million.
Whew.
They'll keep him around through the 2028 and 2029 season.
One of the best point guards to play in the sport.
Absolutely. Also some unfortunate news. Carol Dawson, who was the former Houston Rockets coach and general manager, fortunately passed away at the age of 86 years old. Dawson was an assistant coach for Houston in all 4 of the NBA Finals teams, including the 94-95 champions, before serving as GM for both the Rockets and the WNBA's Comets. And speaking of passings, I know this is a sports show, but we got to also acknowledge the sad news that we got today or yesterday, and that was the passing of the legendary James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Man,
For those of you who don't know, if you remember 2 movies, Star Wars and The Lion King, you know exactly that voice. The voice of the leader of the pack, Mufasa, and the Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader.
James Earl Jones, man, he was an actor that stuck with me even through my childhood because that voice was so recognizable. That deep, baritone, trombone, type voice. Like, just, it was so captivating. It drew you in. And, like, when he spoke, and no matter what role he was doing, it's like you believed every word that he was saying because that's how good of an actor he was.
The voice is strong.
James Earl Jones, the dude was a living legend. I mean, Lion King was definitely one of my all-time favorite movies growing up, and even today, it's still one of my favorite all-time movies. And, the guy touched so many hearts. He impacted so many young lives with all of the acting that he did. And he was just a very fun, respectable person around the community. Nobody thought bad of him because he was just that good of a human being. And our prayers and condolences go out to his family as they go through this very tragic time. James Earl Jones, rest in paradise, my friend.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And the light mood on that, real quick. There was, the famous clip from The Lion King where Mufasa dies and Simba's trying to wake him and saying, Dad, please wake up. Well, somebody took that and clipped in Christian saying, oh, your father is dead, and this theme in the background.
Too soon.
Okay, that right there, that's wrong.
No.
That's
They did this about a year ago when Christian started doing the whole, fatherless kids thing. This is way before James Earl Jones passed away, but no, it's still funny because of what it was at the time. I mean, obviously, but still, it proves people love The Lion King and people love wrestling and all that stuff. But yeah, James Earl Jones, definitely a legend. It's definitely going to be weird not hearing his baritone voice the Lord of the Sith anymore, but such is life. So, but moving on from that as well, let's get into the NFL news because we got a lot to get into NFL wise. NBA was pretty short and sweet, but the NFL, whew, it has been busy. And of course, we had several big games this week, but unfortunately, due to also with those games, also came some injuries. Obviously, we're gonna let's get right into it right away with Jordan Love. On one of the very last plays of the game, of the Green Bay game, I believe it was Green Bay against the Eagles, correct? You guys can hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I was gonna say that was Green Bay versus the Eagles, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
on one of the last plays of that game, Jordan Love got rolled up, and when he did,
Yeah, I mean that game. First of all, was so odd because I mean the crowd. It was the field. First of all, the field was awful. Like just players slipping on the field and not getting. They were establishing footing and then losing footing. I mean, it wasn't good. And then Green Bay it was a weird game because Green Bay and Philadelphia had this odd score, and it's so funny. I was texting Kevin during the game. I'm like, dude, funny enough, we were calling these odd scores during the game or during the prediction battle last week. And yet here's the second game of the regular season, and this score is so odd. And the game was odd. I mean, it's the crowd, their energy wasn't there. The players, I don't know. Like it was very odd. And then I heard and read that people were having problems with their Peacock feeds and video problems, audio problems. Just it was a mixed bag. And then when the injury happened to Love, like we're thinking the worst, like he's done because it was just crazy how everything just happened. And then it comes out the next day that it's a sprained MCL, and you'll take that any day of the week, versus a torn MCL because he would have been done the rest of the season. If you're Green Bay, yeah, it's an early problem that you're going to have to face right now, but you're going to have to face this and hope that it's at least just a week or two and not 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and it sucks. It sucks, and not only that, but we talked about it on the show again last week that if you really think about it, this was taking away from Philadelphia having an actual legitimate home game.
Yeah, because technically Philadelphia was considered the home team.
Yep.
But all I gotta say is there was somebody else that had a problem with this game, and it's not somebody who was actually there, played, or was even at the game. The other people that had a problem was the New York Giants for letting Saquon Barkley walk, shooting themselves in the foot after that performance he gave.
Yeah, because Saquon tore it up, man.
He did. Jalen Hurts had moments where he was decent, and then he showed reasons why last year that Philadelphia offense struggled. I mean, when Hurts is on the money, that team is lethal, in the air. I mean, A.J. Brown, when he can get separation, when Devontae Smith can get separation, I mean, this team, they can be lethal. It's just that Jalen has to play consistent, and that defense has to prove their mettle because their defense, to me, they're beatable. They're very beatable. If Green Bay is already scoring 29 points on Philly's defense, they're very beatable.
I'm telling you, Philadelphia's defense got exposed right there at the tail end of the regular season last year and in the playoffs when they got absolutely destroyed against Tampa. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Philly, well, I'll put it to you this way. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, the Eagles would not have put up any offense in that game.
Nope. Because there were times where Hurts was struggling. to throw the ball and get into a rhythm and a groove, and he was just missing throws. And it's like Kevin said to me in text, he was like, it's like his namesake, he is hurting me watching this game and his performance. I'm like, yeah, you got a point.
You got a point.
But that was an odd game. It was an odd played game, and I'm just, I hope that Love can recover from this injury because, again, we don't want to see any athletes get injured out there on the field, no matter what team you root for. But just hope that he can recover from this injury and quicker rather than later because Green Bay needs to get back.
Yeah, I'll say, bright spot about that, Jordan Love, thankfully, is avoiding the IR. Because if he would have been put on IR, he would have had to miss at least the next 4 games. So
yeah.
With the news story that he's going to avoid the IR,
that's good.
That is an early Christmas gift for the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Because by them saying that he can avoid the IR, I would say best case scenario 2 weeks, worst case scenario 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another player that suffered a very pretty much the same injury as Mr. Jordan Love, and that is Roma Dunze from Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He suffered an MCL sprain as well.
Yeah, unfortunately though, he is headed to the IR, so he's going to be missing at least the next 4 games.
Yeah. Well, no, from what I read, he's actually going to be week to week.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other big name on the list, and that was Puka Nacua.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, from a knee injury that he had during the summer, he re-aggravated it. Yeah, Roma Dunze is going to be week to week after the MRI showed an MCL sprain, so good news for Chicago on that front. Another couple news notes here, of course. The Broncos losing a living legend, one of their big players, former linebacker and Super Bowl 32 champion Alan Aldridge Jr. has passed away.
Yeah, I believe he was in his 50s, I believe.
52.
Yeah, 52.
No cause of death as that has not been made, as that has not been disclosed. Let's see. Also, too, other news: Justin Fields will start next week, as well as he started this past week, due to Russell Wilson fighting an injury.
Wow! Already declared him the starter. That's really saying something.
Yeah, they've already said he will start week 2 because they feel like Russ is not going to be ready.
I wonder if Christian McCaffrey's going to be able to start next week.
I know, and if you're, and I know we're jumping all over the place, but San Francisco last night, I mean, Mason last night, last minute basically, hey, Run CMC's not playing, you got to step up, and he did in a big way. I mean, just ran all over the field, ran all over that Jets defense. And man, if he can play great behind, Christian McCaffrey, if McCaffrey has to go out for a series or two, man, that right there could pay huge dividends for that San Francisco offense.
It could, but it's very interesting that you actually bring that up, Steven, because I've been doing some research, and it turns out that some comments that were made by Jordan Mason after the game may wind up putting San Francisco in some hot water.
Oh?
Because apparently he didn't name any sources. He didn't sell anybody out, but apparently Jordan Mason told the interviewer or reporter, whoever it was, that he was told on Friday that he was going to be starting over Christian McCaffrey and that he wasn't going to be healthy enough. But if that really is the case, and they didn't pull Christian McCaffrey out of the game until literally an hour before kickoff, that could put San Francisco in some hot water.
Yeah, because you have to report to everybody that, hey, like, this is who's not playing. This is what's going on, because there was no reports up until before kickoff that McCaffrey was going to be out, because when that news came out, I was like, wait, what? I was like, I thought he was healthy.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
So if you're
And of
San
course-
Francisco, this right here could be really bad, because this could be bad, especially from a drafting standpoint.
Exactly.
They could lose a couple of draft picks on this.
Exactly. And of course, whenever Kevin gets in here, which I'm sure he will at some point, then we need to bring this up with him, because since he's a hardcore Niner fan, I wonder what he might have to say about this.
I agree.
Yes,
I do.
What's up?
I do want to bring this up too, as far as like the first game goes, kicking off the regular season, because Baltimore and Kansas City like that game was very interesting, because Mahomes and Worthy during that game established a great connection only in the first game already. And Worthy had an end around for a touchdown, that he had the 35-yard touchdown later in the game thrown by Mahomes. Lamar Jackson had his moments where he was good, running the ball, but throwing the ball again, he couldn't establish a rhythm. When you're not playing a lot during the preseason and all that type of stuff, I mean, real game speed versus practice speed is a hell of a lot, big difference. And I'm sure Lamar's going to get it together. He's a 2-time MVP. And it was a very interesting game, and the ending was insane, because back and forth, teams were trading touchdowns, and Baltimore gets the ball, and they're driving down the field, and Jackson throws a touchdown to Isaiah Likely, and according to the officials, his toe was not in bounds. And I'm like, literally, it was a game of inches.
I mean, yeah, that is a very solid point there, Stephen, but I agree with some of what you said, but I also got to disagree, because Lamar Jackson, yeah, he struggled at times. He couldn't really get into a rhythm. He couldn't get the ball out to his receivers fast enough. But just like Patrick Mahomes and Xavier Worthy got that connection, I honestly believe that Lamar Jackson found some sort of connection with Isaiah Likely.
I think he did too.
Because
Honestly, last year, I think he kind of found a connection with him last year, and he's building off that connection, from last year.
He did. I mean, Likely went out there and had one of the best games of his young career. I mean, he outperformed one of the best. I mean, he by himself outperformed the best tight ends in the game, and Mark Andrews. Now, I mean, I get the fact that Mark Andrews has some injury or several injury concerns over the years, but I still consider him to be an elite tight end. But I mean, Isaiah Likely, the dude went out and had a great game Thursday night. Great game.
He did. I mean, it was a game of inches. It was a good atmosphere. The crowd complete into the game. It was just, if this is any indication about the, how long the season goes, with these two teams, we could be seeing a playoff matchup again down the road. Who knows?
Good. We could. And what makes his performance even more memorable is the fact that on the second down play from, I think it was the 10-yard line with a few seconds to go, Likely was targeted on a pass, but landed hard on his hand, and he literally came out for the third down play, but then he was back on the field on the fourth down play, where he almost, if he would have kept his big toe in bounds, he would have caught the game time touchdown.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, too, since we're jumping around here, let's talk about the game I was nervous about, and that was the Chicago Tennessee game. Started off not really too well for good old Caleb Williams there. Didn't have a good start, overthrowing passes, just not letting go of the ball when he needs to. He had that 19-yard drop back sack, and then what saved the Bears that game was, of course, the defense and special teams, which kept them in the game. Several interceptions, fumbles, fumble recoveries. That defense was keeping us in the game, and eventually we won. But on the offense, it was really ugly.
Yeah, and I was literally just about to say, y'all's defense, Ezra, they bailed out Caleb Williams big time. Because, like you said, Caleb Williams, he was struggling trying to find a rhythm. Absolutely struggling. But props, he's the only rookie quarterback to lead his team to victory in week 1, so at least he has that going for him.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he's got that going for him. And like I said, we pretty much remained injury free outside of like I said, Rome Dunze getting injured, but outside of that, we did pretty well, I think. But other news I do want to get into real quick is, of course, the big news that came out on Saturday, and that is that Dak Prescott got his payday finally. $240 million over 4 years. 231 million of it guaranteed money.
Jerry Jones finally was sick and tired of all the complaining and finally opened up and finally did the one thing that he hates more than anything in this world: open his wallet.
It's absolutely hilarious to me how he waits at a literal weekend of the NFL season kicking off, and Dak Prescott has shown the money and given the money and signed a contract. And Dak Prescott, he has talent, but just because you're being paid, a 4-year deal worth $240, and $231 million guaranteed money, that doesn't mean nothing to me. What matters to me is results when it matters the most. Because as we all know, he only has 2 playoff wins in his professional NFL career. He does not have the track record to speak about getting paid that kind of money. Oh, you can put up regular season stats. Whoopee, yippee. If Patrick Mahomes was given that kind of contract, yeah, I could buy that. Because Mahomes is worth every single money, because he has won championships. Not just one championship, but multiple championships. He's been in multiple conference title games. And if they win again this year, Kansas City is going to make history. Be the first in the three-peat in the Super Bowl era. That has never happened. That has never happened.
Exactly.
And Dak Prescott may have the talent, but I need to see results to show me that you're worth the money that Jerry Jones is paying you. Because good old Jerry's world, he has the most expensive franchise in the National Football League, and they ain't producing shit.
At this point, I'll take Lamar Jackson in the playoffs over Dak Prescott.
Oh, God, because at least Lamar actually tries.
Yeah, exactly. Lamar actually tries.
And he's made it to a conference championship game, unlike Dak.
Well, now that Dallas has linked their 2 massive superhero egos to long-term deals, now the question goes around, what does this mean for players who actually, well, let's see, how can I word this? What does this mean for players that actually go out and play like they deserve long-term deals? Players such as Zach Martin, players such as Micah Parsons, players such as Trevon Diggs.
And that's another thing too. Since you brought up Micah Parsons, they've already paid 2 players that are already breaking the bank. You still got Micah Parsons and you still got Diggs. Two of your best defenders on the defensive side of the football. They haven't been paid yet. You can't pay everybody.
No, you can't.
You're overspending for Dak Prescott, and you're underspending on CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Trevon Diggs, all combined.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about one of the more lopsided games. Let's talk about that ass whooping that took place on your Carolina Panthers, Steven.
My Carolina Panthers, first of all, let's get this straight. They are not my Carolina Panthers. However, they are the biggest pile of human filth playing on a football field. The New Orleans Saints absolutely made a mockery of that franchise, and it was only week 1. You want to know why Derek Carr had a great game? Because he was playing the shitty-ass Panthers defense. That defense couldn't tackle or cover if their lives were on the line. Yeah. If you would have told them, hey, go out there and cover this guy, cover that guy, they couldn't cover crap. Carolina's defense is so bad. And their offense is even more piss pathetic. I mean, Bryce Young was struggling. It is hilariously how bad this team is. And it's only week 1. Only week 1.
Not to talk bad about anybody, but seeing what Bryce Young was able to do at Alabama versus what he's doing in the pros, the one thing that Bryce Young desperately needs in the pros, and that entire front office, including David Tepper, that sorry bum of a GM knows this. He needs an offensive line to protect him. When he was at Alabama, he had one of the best O-lines that he has ever played as a quarterback in his young career. And what happened? Bryce Young put up amazing numbers, won the Heisman that year. He gets to the pros, he runs around like his head's cut off because he does not have an O-line to protect him. So honestly, I'm willing to bet you that if we were to put Bryce Young, as a matter of fact, let me think of and again, I hate to say this about this team because I despise them, but seeing as how strong that Dallas Cowboys O-line is, if we were to put Bryce Young back there and have him use that Dallas Cowboys O-line, I will bet you he'd be putting up great numbers right now. A quarterback is only as good as the offensive line around him.
Real quick, got a shout out here in the chat. Trevor Kirkley is in the chat. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Hello there.
He's asking you how you doing, Joey.
Oh, wait a minute. You said Trevor Kirkley?
Correct.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yep, he's in the chat. What's up, man?
What's going on, my brother? You doing all right, man?
But yeah, it is just absolutely hilarious. Like, I was headed up to Raleigh for the Rival Sons and Clutch concert on Sunday and keeping up with the games. And I'm just laughing my ass off going, are you kidding me? New Orleans scored the most points in the first week of the NFL? I mean, Derek Carr had one of his best games as a Saints quarterback. And of course, it was against Carolina. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The numbers with Bryce Young are not good. Like, he is completely underachieved. And I honestly think if David Tepper and Carolina and company would have drafted CJ Stroud, that would have produced better results. And maybe would have given this team more hope. But CJ Stroud flew under the radar, and Houston struck gold when they drafted him last year.
But then again, like I just said, what if the shoe was on the other foot? What if CJ Stroud had that Panthers O-line? And what if Bryce Young had that Texans O-line?
That's a good point because, as we all know, the offensive line is what makes the quarterback. It's what makes or breaks the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It's just an embarrassment. I mean, come on. I've seen it basically turned into a college football game with the score at this point, man. It's gotten
At
borderline
this
ridiculous.
point, the Panthers team is resembling the team of the Angels in the Outfield 94 remake during their struggles.
Yeah, ain't it?
Very much so.
Yeah, one of the other games that happened this week was which was unbelievably a close contest, and that was Arizona and Buffalo.
Man, Arizona gave Buffalo a run for their money. I mean, they were up on Buffalo at one point.
Yep.
I mean, Josh Allen, I got to give him credit. He literally took matters into his own hands and legs and took over this game. I mean, multiple rushing touchdowns and just he took over, and it's going to be interesting to see how this team does, considering how their schedule is already getting tough because of who their Thursday opponent is, Miami. We'll get to those score predictions when that segment comes around at the top of the next hour. And Buffalo, they're a very interesting team because this is a brand new team with a completely different supporting cast of wide receivers for Josh Allen to throw to. Yeah, he's still got Cooks at running back, but it's a completely different cast of wide receivers and tight ends pretty much. And well, it'll be interesting to see how Allen does, later on in the year as the schedule gets tough for Buffalo. But Kyler Murray, if he can play consistent, this team can go far. But that's the thing. If he can play consistent and produce wins, this team can go somewhere. Like they did in 21.
Yeah.
When they started out, 7-0? Then Green Bay ended that streak.
Yeah. Let's talk about a team that, speaking of struggles, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, who lost to the New England Patriots 16-10.
Oh, Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, man, he struggled. He could not get it going. This to me was the biggest shocker of the weekend because none of us had New England winning this game. But they took it to Cincinnati. And if you keeping track, Joe Burrow's record during the first 2 weeks of his career so far are not good. He has only won one game between the week 1 and 2, only one time in his career.
Dude, where in the world do you come up with these names?
What's up?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. This guy. Now, here's a guy who comes up with some weird names. Huh, are you serious? A smart guy would get this name. Come on, you gotta pick this name to go into Zoom.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Dude, we were just talking about some of these games, including the Panthers getting the absolute bejesus whipped out of them by New Orleans on Sunday, and then talking about Cincinnati losing to the Patriots. And
you know what? All I got to say about that one, you should be a fucking shame to yourself. A team with no offensive line, a team with no quarterback, no running back, no receivers, no water boy, no towel boy, no coach, no assistant coach. You let them beat you, Cincinnati, with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. And the real reason I'm pissed off is you messed up my damn parlay. You screwed me out of $500 because all I needed was the Bengals to beat the damn Patriots, and you fucked up. Thank you,
wait,
Cincinnati.
Kev. Did you have the under, the over, or did you just outright pick Cincinnati?
No, I outright picked Cincinnati by the spread. And then I should pick New England by the damn spread, at least by the spread.
Hell, you would have doubled your money.
Hell, they were like 10-point favorites. Oh my God.
Dude, the Bengals laid a bigger goose egg than the AEW collision ratings.
Oh, ow.
And trust me, I was at Collision. I know.
Oh,
Well, I tell you what, though. You know what, Steven, I will say this about your favorite team. I think they said,
Favorite my ass.
they said, you know what, blind or not, put your Panthers jersey on and get your ass to the practice field because they're hosting tryouts for a new quarterback.
And guess what? It ain't gonna be me, buddy.
He'll prove to the world that even a blind guy can throw better than the entire Panthers organization.
Come on, you got a blind man at quarterback and a blind side offense lineman. Ain't that some shit? It ain't happening, Captain.
So would the blind side block be legal then?
Stop it.
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Well, maybe you can hold on a certain play and maybe the ref will catch a blind eye to it.
Literally.
No, the ref. No, the ref didn't even touch Steven because they find out what's wrong with him. If even the slightest touch would be roughing the passer 15 yards, roughing the passer 15 yards.
Well,
Yeah, he'll catch a blind eye like they did. The referees caught a blind eye for Nick Bosa last night. Man, had him in the chokehold like you was about the Undertaker, about to put him in the choke slam, holding him, bear hugging him right next to Aaron Rodgers, and the referee's like, "That looks clean to me."
Personal development.
I don't know if that was a Jets player or Shayna Baszler locking in the Cafuta clutch.
Personal foul, roughing the blind man, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Dude, even the slightest touch on you, you go 15 yards. So by the time you even get one throw off, you're at the 1 yard line. All you got to do is just run it in.
Oh,
Here, hey, you picture this line, right? Yeah, there's the end zone. Now go and just run straight through.
The refs will be better paid off than Dak Prescott was at the last minute.
oh.
The only thing I will say about your favorite team, Steven, the Panthers, is, oh my God, you made Derek Carr look like he was the second coming of Drew Brees or some shit, and Derek Carr is nothing but a damn overpaid, overglorified bum, essentially, and you made him look like Drew Brees throwing 3 touchdowns on J.C. Horn in his head, and you,
So good.
what are we doing, Carolina?
And also, regarding the Carolina Panthers, they've now lost the one player who actually is worth a crap for the rest of the season. That's Derek Brown.
Well,
what can Brown do for you? Get injured in week 1.
Well, Carolina, you are officially the number 1 pick. You are now on the clock at the number 1 pick already. Quinn Ewers, you are a Carolina Panther. Sorry, buddy.
What's the first pick of the 2025 NFL draft? Them cardiac kitty cats select. Insert pick.
Quinn Ewers, Texas quarterback. And then, wait a minute, 10 minutes later, Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers has officially announced his retirement from the NFL.
Wait, how does that happen? Oh, he realizes if I go to the Panthers, I am fucked. Oh God.
Carolina, come on. I know the Giants look like shit, but you guys look like a damn middle school team playing in the NFL. What are you doing?
So funny. I called Joey. I said, dude, did you have a shutout? He said, yeah, but they scored 3 points. I said, damn it. That would have been perfect.
How?
I mean, if picking against the Giants was easy, picking against Carolina was the easiest pick in week 1.
Well, I know what to put on my parlay this week. Carolina lose by the spread. No matter what. Oh, the Chargers are favored by 14. Fuck it. Give me Chargers by 20. Fuck it. Anybody.
Hey,
the XFL league favored by 10. Give me the XFL team, etc. by 20. Yeah, there we go.
Who are they playing? Let's give them Birmingham. Oh, they're screwed.
Yeah, one thing I will say about the Carolina Panthers, though, is that they won't have anybody on that roster who will get away with murder, unlike the Kansas City Chiefs player.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I'd like to. I'd
Or
like to.
or
I'm
or,
glad
or
you
John
mentioned that.
John Moxley on Saturday with a plastic bag over Brian Danielson's head.
You know
Oh,
what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm glad y'all said something. I want to say something about that game. What are we doing, NFL? You trying to make a statement. So you flagged the Baltimore Ravens, not one, not two, like not three, like I posted in the chat, likely 80, literally, likely 80 times. You flag them for illegal formation. But then Jawan Taylor, you would think he gets away with so much shit. You'd think he was OJ Simpson. I mean, this guy's out there. This guy's out there. Off the ball, 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, false starting every single play, bear hugging and putting someone in a damn full Nelson lock, literally keeping them away from Patrick Mahomes, and the NFL thinks that is okay? I, I don't know, man. I feel like the Ravens could have played better, and Lamar Jackson, I think Steven could have threw a better ball than Lamar Jackson threw to Zay Flowers in the end zone. Wide the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
open, missed it.
man,
But
I'm telling you what.
missed
I
him.
think the referees really fucked that game up because it was a
I
fun game, good competitive
swear.
game, but them referees, oh my God,
I
every
swear, it's
run,
like
holding, illegal formation, illegal formation, illegal formation. Good God Almighty.
I swear it's like these refs are scared to penalize Kansas City for anything.
Because they're literally just as bad as Ronnie Staley on the Ravens. Jawan Taylor is probably a yard back farther than Ronnie Staley, and they penalized Ronnie Staley 5 times.
And Kevin, before you came on too, bro, we were talking about the Packers and Eagles game. That game was so odd. Like the crowd was weird, the field was awful, the play was awful. It was weird.
I get what the NFL is trying to do. Trust me, I get they're trying to expand their viewerships and their fandom to other countries. But come on, dude, stop it. I'm sorry, but I mean, you're playing on a fucking muddy field with a bunch of grass shavings and calling it a football field. Now look at all the players slipping and falling, tripping, sliding, can't get a grip, and then Jordan Love sprains his knee out 3 to 6 weeks. Then Saquon Barkley looked like he tweaked his knee a little bit, even though he came back in the second half. I mean, it's just not good to put your players. That field is about as worse as fucking FedEx Field that Washington's had all them years. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't put my players on that field. I definitely wouldn't want to put them in Brazil. Holy cow, man. That's just dumb.
And then there was
Kevin, real quick. There's one thing I want to bring up with you, and I brought this up briefly, and I was going to get your opinion whenever you came on. I'm not sure if you saw the articles or anything, but apparently rumors are going around that San Francisco may be putting in some hot water because of some comments that Jordan Mason said last night after the game, saying that he was told on Friday by an unnamed source that he was actually going to be able to start and play because Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to be able to on Monday night, but yet they didn't pull Christian McCaffrey until literally an hour before kickoff.
See,
so what's your opinion on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Legally,
how
nothing.
true do you think that is?
I think that is true to a certain degree because they said McCaffrey left practice Friday, said he started tightening up on him. But here's the key. They ain't going to get in any trouble because they listed McCaffrey on the injury report. It never had McCaffrey not on the injury report saying, oh, yeah, he's playing the good go. It had McCaffrey as questionable / game time decision. Meaning they can legally tell Jordan Mason, hey, you're probably going to get started. You're probably going to get the start, but we're going to list McCaffrey as questionable. That means they can push it all the way to game time. Like, let's see how you feel Monday. Go get some sleep, rest it up over the weekend. Let's see what you feel. Plus, comments today from Kyle Shanahan basically said he probably was good to go to play. But Kyle Shanahan said, listen, we got a game plan. We think we can handle the Jets front seven, which we'll talk about it later. We can handle the Jets front seven with Jordan Mason. We prepared Jordan Mason all camp. McCaffrey's been out all camp. Let's just rock with that. We need McCaffrey in the Super Bowl and in January. We don't need McCaffrey week 1. So let's just let him rest because
you got a point there.
He did say today, he said if this was the wild card round or the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, McCaffrey's playing. He said McCaffrey's probably 85%.
That's a great point.
We've seen what tendonitis in the ankle or in the Achilles has done. Dre Greenlaw had Achilles tendonitis all postseason last year, and he didn't able to get that rest. And what happened? One wrong move in the Super Bowl ruptured the Achilles. That's what they're trying to prevent. They want to save McCaffrey to when they really need him in the winter, then to go ahead and, I mean, obviously it paid dividends because we'll talk about it, but I mean, Jordan Mason looked like Raheem Mostert from 2019. Like, good God, it's just Kyle Shanahan can run. Kyle Shanahan can put you in there, Steven, and you can damn find the damn holes. Jesus Christ, you can run down. You can go get 70 yards on the damn Jets defense. The way he was opening them holes with the offensive line. So I feel like Shanahan was just being conservative, basically saying, "Hey, look, Debo, this is your time. You look good. You gonna get you and Mason gonna get the rushing this game. We're gonna let McCaffrey chill." And that's basically what it was. They shouldn't get any legal action, and I think NFL tweeted that. Adam Schefter reported that the NFL is not looking into it because, like I said, his name was on the injury report. It wasn't like Joe Burrow's where his name wasn't on the injury report all week, and then all of a sudden Sunday they said, "Oh, he's out with a torn ligament in his thumb." That's where you get in trouble. So
Yeah, that is very true.
That's a good point. And I also do want to talk about as well from over the weekend, there was two games that, clicked with me right away. And that was the Colts and the Texans first. I mean, I thought was overall was a really good game. I mean, CJ Stroud looked really good in this game, and Stephon Diggs, what a hell of a debut. 2 touchdowns. And Joe Mixon had a touchdown in the game. I mean, it was a really, really back and forth good game.
yeah, I think Anthony Richardson's got a fucking arm on him, dude. His problem is the exact opposite. A lot of people can't throw the deep ball. It's the opposite for Anthony Richardson. He got a hell of a deep ball. The problem is when he throws the ball 5 yards or short, he's inaccurate as fuck. He was 9 of 19, but still had over 200 yards passing. That's incredible. Because that means he threw a lot of deep balls.
Oh yeah, and speaking of incredible, that Rams and Lions game, whew, what a hell of a way to wrap up week 1. I mean, that was a great game. Just back and forth, ebbs and flows. I mean, just really, really, really competitive. I mean, this was similar to the game last year in the wild card round when the Lions survived the Rams in that fourth quarter. I mean, this was the first game to go to overtime. I mean, already you had 2 primetime games that came down to the literal final minutes, whether in regulation or overtime, competitive. And that's what we like to see,
Yes.
And just a great performance by both teams. And one of the strangest things in week 1 that hit me on the way up to the concert Sunday was Tyreek Hill getting pulled over by police, and then the officer we found out he was detained. He was relieved from his duties. Because it sounds like to me, hearing that, you have to have probable cause to pull somebody over. You know what I mean? And Tyreek Hill was able to suit up and play the game, and he had a great game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not only him, but Calais Campbell was also put in handcuffs at one point.
Yeah, and
here's my problem with it, and I'm just going to speak on it briefly because it's not really football related, but you literally have to. I understand pulling Tyreek Hill over, but there's no fucking sense of you taking him out that car and throwing him on the ground like you did. That is beyond me. Because over a speeding ticket, I mean, he didn't wreck nobody. He wasn't fighting, or he wasn't armed, or he wasn't trying to damn fight the police. Why are you slamming him on the ground and handcuffing him? I don't get it. And then Calais Campbell obviously was trying to de-escalate the situation. Like, hold on, calm down, chill. He's not harmful. He is innocent. And you literally could listen to the cops on the body cam. Like, it is ridiculous and it's sickening some of the words they were saying. They pushed Tyreek Hill down. After they done put a knee in his back, 6 cops, they got him up and they threw him on the sidewalk, talking about sit down. And Tyreek said, hold on, man, I just had surgery on my knee in the offseason. Let me sit down. And they threw Tyreek on the ground and says, end quote, you should have had fucking surgery on your ears because you can't fucking listen, motherfucker. And then end quote. What is that?
Wow, that is so stupid.
Wow, I didn't even know all that.
I mean, they released the body cam from the police department, Miami-Dade County Police Department, yesterday, and I watched the whole thing about 4 minutes long on X, and I'm like, that is That is ridiculous. And then it shows Calais Campbell pulling up, and all the cop was like, "You need to get the fuck out of here. Get in your car, or you're gonna give me your license, and you're gonna fucking go to jail." What? What
Just
is
because you're a cop, that doesn't mean you're fucking God.
You know what? I respect
Exactly.
authority. I definitely do. But just like people in the world, there's always a bad apple. And that bad apple gives people with that job title a bad name. Just like people in the world, a bad apple gives everybody a bad name. And it's ridiculous because
And
there was no
look,
sense in
and
that.
we're not saying because they're all bad. No, not all
No.
cops are bad. There are
But
good
that
cops and then
one
there's
cop
bad
that was
cops.
in that incident is a piece of shit, to be honest. I'm honestly very shocked that nothing they need something needs to be done. Them cops shouldn't have a job. That's abuse of power, and I think it's ridiculous. And to be honest, I laughed like hell when Tyreek Hill scored that touchdown and Jalen Waddle came over there with the celebration and put him in handcuffs. I thought that was funny, and I'm like, I hope the cops is watching and get pissed the
Yes.
fuck off because that was hilarious.
What
I'm
a
glad
reference!
Tyreek Hill did that.
What a reference! And and that was a pretty solid game too, because Miami at one point was trailing in this game.
They
And-
looked pretty hopeful
was
till
like
the third
17 to
quarter.
7 at one
Yeah,
point.
there was like
No, it
17
was
to 7.
17 to nothing. I think,
Yeah,
or 14
17
to nothing.
17 to nothing, and they came back and scored on them.
Yep, because them and the Titans both blew 17-point leads.
Yeah, and speaking of the Titans, nice transition. Will Levis, good Lord, he struggled.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he thinks he's Magic Johnson, but he's more like Tragic Bronson trying to throw them trick passes, getting into a pick six. How are you the Bears and you win the game without scoring an offensive touchdown? That just like the Steelers. Like what good God, the Titans should be ashamed of themselves. You let the Bears come back down 17 without an offensive touchdown because of pick sixes and punt blocks and what? Jesus Christ.
So yeah, before we do go on, I want to let everyone know that we have lost Ezra for the night. He posted a message in our chat saying that he's not feeling too well right now, feeling a little nauseous and lightheaded, and he's gonna go lay down, but he's gonna post scores in the chat before he does pass out for the night. So
Okay.
love and prayers going out to you, bro. Hope you start feeling better soon.
Yep. But yeah, as far as this week one schedule, I mean, like these games for the most part were pretty competitive. I mean,
They really were.
there really wasn't an awful game except for the Panthers and the Saints.
Well, I would say I would say the Vikings and the Giants is a pretty close second.
Yeah, pretty close because the Giants are easy pickings. And Daniel Jones, speaking of picking, good God Almighty, 2 interceptions in that game.
Oh, real quick. Also, before Hijacker Mike joins us here in just a little bit, how about the news going around about, once again, Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, getting a sexual assault and battery charge put on him?
Oh, the ride never ends.
The ride never ends.
Too bad he's not on Denver because he could be saying Broncos country, let's ride.
Exactly. And I actually read the article, and this woman that put this charge on him, oh my gosh, she went into detail. John Watson might be in trouble with this one. And I'm just like, what?
You know what? It would not, honestly, it would not shock me if the Browns would literally have asked her to come forward just so they can find a way to get Deshaun off that fucking team after what he done Sunday. Holy shit.
It was terrible.
Cleveland's probably like, please just come out.
Absolutely
Please,
terrible.
please step forward and say it so we have a reason. Send him to jail. I'm done with him. $253 million to suck.
Good Lord,
And then Atlanta.
I mean, that
Good
Cowboys-
God.
Atlanta.
Oh
what?
yes, Atlanta with an
Yeah, you
absolute
lose to
shock
Pittsburgh
and lost
without
to
even-
Pittsburgh. of all teams.
Pittsburgh beats you without even scoring on offense.
Hey, you know how the Xbox 360 was the red ring of death? Well, this is called the field goal to death.
I'm honestly considering changing my pick. I feel so bad about it. And I know it's week 1, but I feel like
I do too. I'm the one that
Tampa Bay
picked
is in a
Atlanta to
much
beat
better
it, and then
position.
exactly. I thought, Kirk
Man,
Cousins, a
shit,
new quarterback in Atlanta.
we all picked Atlanta last week.
I'm sorry, but I think Tampa Bay is in a better position. I mean, sorry, Joey, but your Commanders kind of made them look like Patrick Mahomes out there throwing sidearm passes and 4 touchdowns, and I was like,
Well,
good God.
like I said last week, I wasn't expecting too much out of the Commanders just yet. Later on in the
But
season, maybe, but right now, we literally put a whole new team out there on Sunday, so it's
Yep.
all good.
but
But
here's where I think it,
I'm telling you one thing: if we lose our game this week, then my God, we got problems.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
But here's the funny thing about the Cleveland and situation. Tell me how is when Baker was in Cleveland and they gave up on him, Deshaun was balling in Houston. Now the roles are reversed. Baker leaves Cleveland, he starts
Uh-huh.
balling again. Deshaun goes to Cleveland and he sucks.
Yep.
What's
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
Cleveland?
Good
Must be the
call, because
Cleveland curse.
Baker Mayfield has established this connection with Mike Evans at wide receiver, and
Nope.
that connection is well established already because this connection was building last year. And Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield, man, if this tandem can stay unstoppable, nobody is going to stop any team in the NFL.
Nah.
Nope.
Oh, but oh my gosh. On a humor note, how about the great value Walmart donkeys getting not one but two safeties?
It's a miracle. And almost a third. Kenneth Walker got
Almost a
third.
third. They literally scored 7 points, 2 safeties, and a field goal. That's one way to get a illegal touchdown.
Only other game I have some thoughts on really is the Jets. Sorry.
Great
but,
segue. Great segue. That's what I was
because it's
fixing to go
a
to.
Monday night game. Yes. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know. Just like Shannon Sharp said, though, man, San Francisco can go get somebody from McDonald's and put him in the backfield, and he's going to get 80 to 100 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the reason
Oh.
I would say they didn't play Christian McCaffrey, because Shanahan knows, hey, we can run the ball. We can find a way to run the ball. We can't put that. Just goes to prove my point when I tell everybody Trent Williams is the best player on this team. He's the most important player on this team, even over McCaffrey. They can win without anybody else. They can't win without Trent. And that's just the fact of the matter. What I was impressed with from the 49ers side, though, is everybody was so confused about Steve Wilkes aspiring. And I'm like, it's simple. If you watch the games, we have been atrocious against the run. Look at the stat line that Kirk Cousins and the Vikings put up on us last year. 400 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing is ridiculous. For a defense who has not given that up since 2017, I mean, we have Pro Bowlers all over the field. There's no excuse. So Nick Sorensen, another one of them, D'Amico Ryan and Robert Saleh understudy, come in there, also coached the Legion of Boom in Seattle, and boy, he called a phenomenal game against Aaron Rodgers. The pass rush, Nick Bosa was getting home. Leonard Floyd, the big addition. Malik Collins, a big addition in the run stop. And they only gave up 24 yards to Brees Hall rushing.
I was about to say, how about them shutting down Brees Hall last night?
Not only that, the first play of the game, the screen, Fred Warner said, not so fast. Peanut punched it out. He sent the message. That defense was flying all over the field. And you know what? Here's what makes it sweeter. That defense was missing 2 Pro Bowl players, Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga, who have not even got back yet. They're going to be loaded when they get healthy. But as far as the Jets, I'm not going to be like some of the people like, oh, they suck. I will say that defense Kyle Shanahan made C.J. Mosley and the crew look, oh my God. They had them running around like chickens with their head cut off. Sauce Gardner, Shanahan played it perfectly. He said, you know what? You can cover, but you know what? You can't tackle. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to put Debo over there. We're going to just give him the ball and say, tackle him if you dare. It got so bad for tackling Debo, they benched Sauce Gardner because they knew what Shanahan was doing. Robert Saleh said they knew they're going to just run at him. But I'm going to be kind of the one to actually look at the Jets as like the glass half full kind of situation. not everybody in the league runs the ball like San Francisco. Not everybody in the league has a roster like San Francisco. Not everybody in the league has a defense like San Francisco. So if the Jets were to go do this next week against the Titans, then I would be worried. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because Rodgers made a couple of very impressive throws. The
Yes, he did.
offsides free play touchdown was a dot. I mean, that might have been one of the best dots I've seen all of week one. And so I think he still has it. I think Garrett Wilson's gonna be better on the same page with Aaron Rodgers, but this is why I said Aaron Rodgers needs a preseason, and that's exactly why. He at times he kind of looked shaky, like he was scared to get out of the pocket. With a new Achilles, I feel like as time goes on, he'll get better. But there are teams in the AFC he's got to play that are like San Francisco, and the Baltimore Ravens are one of them, who run the ball, play physical, play defense, and that is a team just like the San Francisco 49ers. If you want to get into the Super Bowl, you're going to have to beat them. The Kansas City Chiefs are another. So New York, I'm looking at it as a glass half full. There's your opportunity. Grow, improve, let Rodgers work his way back, and we'll see what they do against the Titans in week 2 before I make any kind of judgment.
Yeah, because it's hard to make predictions for our thoughts on week 1 because just 1 week. But joining us right now is our very own Hijacker Mike. What's going on, brother?
What's up, brothers?
Hijacker?
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing
just fine. How about yourself, bro?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We had a wild week action of week 1, didn't we?
Yeah, yes, we did. What were some things that stood out to you, bro, on week 1 in the NFL?
Well, I was thinking the Jets were going to actually come to play last night, but then after they scored that first touchdown, they kind of just fell flat. But it was pretty much expected. They still have some things to fix up and change in their own pocket and zones and stuff like that. Actually, the surprise – no, I don't have last week's schedule. I have this week's schedule. No, it was actually an exciting week. A couple of games did surprise me, but I don't have them on my list right now because I left that one at work because I have my calls for next week. But going 11-5 in week 1 wasn't too bad. I'm not sure how everybody else managed out for the week of week 1.
Well, we're going to be getting to that in just a little bit, but Hijacker, I do want to say props to you for being the only person last week to correctly predict the outcome of the Chargers-Raiders game.
Yeah.
You were the only one that picked the Chargers.
Yeah, no, I went against...
Props to you, sir.
Oh, good. No, I went against the grain on a few games, and that was one. Outside of the coach knowing my wife and whatnot, I do wish him well. I'm still, who I am with the Raiders and whatnot, and them leaving, I still can't get a grasp on it and whatnot from Oakland. But yeah, I just went with what I felt. I felt Harbaugh had a better squad and he could take that team in there. And, it was crazy because
he did.
Look at that game.
He did.
What's that?
He did.
Yeah, you take a look at that game. There were more Raider fans in LA than you would think. But LA used to be home of the Raiders, some 30 years ago, and it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our pick segment for week 2. But first, I do have to point out our records for this past week. Steven, way to go, dude. You topped all of us in week 1. I'm going 13-3. Awesome job.
Yeah, that was a very fun week. Because you guys were picking Denver and picking Cleveland, and I was like, man, come on, this is an easy pick. I mean, I know Dallas's road record isn't great because last year it was pitiful, but to me these were 2 easy picks because Bo go against because Bo Mix, although he did show strides, he did throw 2 interceptions in this game and he was not great. But nah, it's great to get back underway with this, and we're waiting for Ezra to give his picks here in the chat. So when his picks do come in, we will rattle those off.
That's right. And let's see, it was myself, Ezra, and Hijacker. We all came in a 3-way tie for second with 11-5 records. And Kevin Roy, Oh man, finished at the bottom of the barrel. Went 9-7 last week, but hey, still better than the Carolina Panthers.
Yep, he's still over 500 compared to the Panthers.
Still better than Carolina. But I guess let's go ahead and get things started. And of course, whenever Ezra does give his scores, then we'll rattle them off. But let's go ahead and get week 2 started because we know Kevin's going to have to get off here in a minute, and so will Hijacker. So let's go ahead and get things started on Thursday night. And I'm telling you, the NFL has been kind to us for these Thursday night primetime games so far. Starting things off with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills going to Miami to take on the Dolphins.
All right, well, I'll start this one off. I'm thinking Miami at home is going to edge Buffalo 21-17. This is going to be a very close game, and it's probably going to be full of action, minimum turnovers.
Okay. This one is actually kind of tough for me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say early in the season, we know how this story ends. Early in the season, Miami gets it. Late in the year, Buffalo gets it because Miami chokes. So right now, give me Miami, but I think this is going to be the opposite. I think it's going to be full of turnovers. I think Josh Allen has his problems again, like he did in the first half. I'm thinking, but he's also going to rush for 2 or 3 scores like he did. But I think I'm going to give the edge to Miami 24-23 over Buffalo.
Oh, I like that score. I like what he's thinking.
I like that score too.
I'm going to go kind of in a similar score. Give me the Miami same score, but give me 3 less points for Buffalo. So give me Miami 24-20.
You know what? I'm actually going to go very, very similar to that. I really hate to go against Buffalo because it always seems they seem to play well against Miami, but I got to give the edge to Miami. I'm going Miami 23, Buffalo 21 on a game-winning touchdown pass from Tua.
Okay.
All right, and of course, hopefully Ezra will give his picks here in just a little bit. But for now, let's move on to our first Sunday game, where we have the Las Vegas Raiders going up to Baltimore to take on the Ravens.
I'll start this one off. This one can't be that damn difficult. I like the Raiders' leadership at the end of last year, but Lamar company pissed off. Yeah, give me the Ravens in this one, 31-7.
Damn.
Give me Baltimore in this one. Give me Baltimore 27-10.
Give me Baltimore in this one. I'm gonna go 33-14.
Give me Baltimore 31-16.
Oh, looks like Ezra is typing out his scores, just letting you know.
Awesome. We'll get to those in just a minute. But for right now, let's go to the easiest game of the week. And that is Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers going into Carolina to take on the Panthers.
Oh, God
I'm
bless
start
it.
This one off. Look, I'm going to start this one off with Jim Harbaugh's favorite saying, who's got it better than us? Not them damn Carolina Panthers. Give me the Chargers 24-3.
I can't top that. You know what? Give me the Chargers to beat up on them kitty cats. Screw it. 24-0.
Oh! Shut out.
Why not?
Shut out.
Why
you know
not?
What? I'm not going to do a shutout this week because I think that would just be. I'm going to show Carolina just a teensy bit of pity, but not a whole lot. 30-3 Chargers.
All right. I'll take Chargers 17-10 over Carolina.
Whoa, he's going close. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, up next, we got a showdown in Big D. Well, not really a showdown, but hopefully it'll still be a good game regardless. But Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints going into Big D to take on the Cowboys. I'm gonna go and start off with this one. I don't like to say it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be. As a matter of fact, I'll go wash my mouth out. It was so bad to this pick, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Uh, Give me the Cowboys. I'm gonna go 27-16.
Give me Dallas 23-10.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overthink this. I'm going Dallas by a long shot. I got Dallas winning 28-10.
Yeah, give me Dallas 24-10 on this one.
Okay. All right. Up next, we actually have a playoffs rematch. We have Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or Bucks going into Ford Field to take on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions.
This is gonna be good.
This one's going to be good. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and get things started off with this one. That playoff game last year was one of the most underrated, but yet best playoff performances by both teams that I've ever seen, or that I've seen in quite a while. The Lions came out with a 31-23 win. I think it's going to be pretty much the same, just a little bit higher in points. I'm going to go with Detroit in this one. They had some players that kind of struggled in week one, so I think this is going to be their time to bounce back. So give me Detroit 34-24.
I'm actually going close. I'm going game-winning field goal. If it was in Tampa Bay, I'm taking the Bucks with the upset. But at Ford Field, hostile environment, give me the Lions in a defensive game, 20-17.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Detroit as well. I'm gonna go Detroit 24-20, or yeah, 24-20.
All right.
All right. I got Detroit edging this one at home in the Motor City 17-14 with Steven kicking the game winning field goal.
Where's my plane ticket to Detroit?
Hey, hey, instead of saying in Tucker we trust, it's going to be in Wyand we trust.
In the blind we trust.
All right, up next, we got Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts going into Lambeau to take on the Packers. Now, I'll admit this one's going to be hard since Jordan Love won't be playing in this one. I'll admit.
Give me the Colts 19-13.
I'm going to go to Colts. I just think Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson's too much. And no Jordan Love equals no points. Give me the Colts 14-7.
Oh, low score.
All right. Give me Indianapolis 17-6 in this one.
Yeah, if Jordan Love was playing this game, I would easily go with the Packers. But since he's not going to be able to play, give me the Colts. I'm going to go 17-10. All right, up next, we have the guy who was just served a court case, Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns, going into Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars.
Give me the Jaguars to beat up on the massage parlors 24-10.
Give me the Jaguars. I think Deshaun Watson plays even worse. They're gonna find a way to run him the fuck out of Cleveland. Give me Jacksonville 17-16.
Oh, okay.
Give me Jacksonville. I'm gonna go 21 to. You know what? I'm gonna go 21-9. 3 field goals for Cleveland. Or better yet, a touchdown and a safety.
Here we go with the safeties again.
No,
All
that's
right,
only limited to the Broncos.
All right, I'm a I'm gonna go against the grain with y'all again. I got Cleveland 25-13 over Jacksonville.
What a
Oh,
whoa!
On the road. On the road.
Hey.
check out that score. Okay.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right. This one should be a no-brainer. It's going to be the San Francisco 49ers going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Okay, after easily picking the Vikings to beat up on the pathetic Giants, this is an easy pick. Give me San Francisco, or as Hijacker would correctly say, the Santa Clara 49ers to beat Minnesota 28-7.
Yeah, this is a no brainer for me. I think Minnesota does got a lot of talent other than the quarterback. But I'm going with the 49ers. I think they want revenge on the Vikings from last year. Relatively healthy. And oh, by the way, Steven, you're starting running back for the Shanahan system. You will run for 120 yards in that game. And they're going to give me that win against the Vikings 34-14.
Well, I'm everywhere. I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, when you leave
everywhere.
Detroit, you got to go to Minnesota, and you gonna have to start running back. You and Jordan Mason.
Give me the 49ers in this one. I'm going to go
I'll just be on
31.
the sideline and be like, all right, where's the ball? Let me kick it. Boom. That's it.
All right. This one's also going to be a no-brainer to me. Niners 34, Vikings 7.
Yeah, I also have Santa Clara winning this one 24-17. They'll get a win on the road, even though fans are dying of heat exhaustion out here because it's hot in the stadium, and they're going to upgrade their Wi-Fi instead of give them some shade. So go Santa Clara.
Dang. All right, let's see. Up next, we have a Super Bowl rematch from a few years ago. Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks going into Gillette Stadium, or I think it's still called Gillette Stadium, but anyway,
It is.
going up north to take on the New England Patriots.
I'm not overthinking this. New England, you had your time to shine. I'm going Seattle in a close one, though, 17-15.
I like what Kevin's
Whoa.
thinking. I'm going to go Seattle. Almost same score, 17-13.
All right.
you know
Well, I'm on a. Go ahead, Joseph. Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna go almost the same echelon as Kevin. You know what? I got a weird score for this one. Give me the Seahawks over the Patriots, 18-16.
All right. Well, I'm gonna landslide this one on you. I'm taking Seattle 35-7.
Oh gosh!
They're gonna go in Green Bay or in New England and just trounce. They're gonna rename that place Tom Brady after a while. Watch.
Oh, oh boy. Okay, up next. After a dismal performance last night on Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers leads the New York Jets into Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans.
Bro, you lost to the Bears without the Bears scoring an offensive touchdown. You're not winning this. Give me the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers looks a lot better this week. I think he throws 3 touchdowns. Give me the Jets 27-14.
Same score, 27-14
wow.
Jets.
I'm going to go just about the same score. I'm going to go 28-13 Jets.
All right, I got the Jets coming up with their first victory, 24-16, and Rodgers will run for 2 touchdowns.
Showing off that Achilles.
Maybe it won't be his Achilles' last stand.
All right, up next, and I kind of mentioned this earlier in the show, and I said that if my boys lose this game, that we definitely got some problems. Daniel freaking Dimes Jones and the New York Giants.
Dear God.
Going into Washington to take on my Commanders. Like I said, if we lose this game, we got more problems than we know what to do with. Give me my Commanders in this one. I'm going to go Commanders 27, Giants, no mercy, 10.
Uh, I'm gonna go a lower score. Okay, I'm gonna bullshit. Okay, I got the Commanders winning 20-5. Yes, they get a safety. The Giants get one safety because Jaden Daniels is going to try to be a running back one of those plays and end up fucking up the snap in the end zone and trying to just kicking it out the back.
Or
20
better
to
yet,
5.
or better yet,
Commander.
or better yet, Daniel Jones will pull a Dan Orlovsky and go all over the back of the end zone.
No,
Oh,
then it would be
God.
22-5, Joey. It'd be two safeties.
All right. I got Washington winning this one 20-3.
Ooh.
He got him
Oh.
without the safety. I got him with the safety.
And they might surprise us with the safety in that one.
Give me the Commanders. Give me Washington 14-6.
Poor Danny Dimes. Is he going to throw another pick six? Have more pick sixes than he does touchdowns.
Oh, he
Sign
is
him for
throwing
$200
dimes all
million.
right. He's throwing interceptions.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Now we're moving on to our afternoon or later afternoon games. Oh, here we go. Ezra has just posted his scores. So I'm going to read the ones that we've already gone through real quick. Let's see. Ezra has the Dolphins beating the Bills 31-28. He's got the Ravens beating the Raiders 27-20. He's got the Chargers over the Panthers 33-7. Oh God. He's got the Cowboys over the Saints 24-21.
Okay, close one.
Let's see. He's got the Lions over the Bucks 34-20.
Ooh.
He's got the Colts over the Packers 27-17. And whoa. Ezra's going with hijacker. He's going with hijacker in this one. Browns over the Jags 20-14.
Okay.
All right, and he's got the Niners over the Vikings 31-23. Let's see. He's got the Patriots over the Sea Chickens 20-10.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay. That is very interesting. Let's see. He's got the Titans over the Jets 21-13.
Outright picking the Titans.
Wow. And he's got the Commanders over the Giants 26-16. Alright, so now we are all caught up and just in time for our later afternoon games. First up, we got Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams, who are going to be without Puka Nacua for the next 4 to 5 weeks, going into Arizona to take on Mr. Call of Duty, Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. And I'll go ahead and start off with Ezra's score. He's actually picking the Cardinals over the Rams 23-21.
Man.
I'm glad. I'm not going to be the only one to say it, but that's my upset of the week. I got Arizona 27-24 game-winning field goal. Kyler Murray runs for 100.
Wow.
Yep. I got Arizona 17-16 in an edger.
Oh,
Hey.
whoa.
Well, this one's going to be my going against the grain. I got to go with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams in this one. I think it's going to be very, very close. Give me the Rams over the Cardinals 20-14.
Ooh, similar score to me, but give me the Cardinals 2 more points instead of that. 20-16 LA.
Okay. All right, up next we have the surprise team. Well, one of the surprise teams from last week, and and they've already announced Justin Fields as their Week 2 starter. The Pittsburgh Steelers going into Denver to take on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I'll start this one out. Here's my shocker of the week. I got Pittsburgh winning the game, but again, no offensive touchdowns. 15-10.
So we're gonna call them the we're gonna call
All
them
field goals.
We're gonna call them the Pittsburgh Kickers.
We're gonna call them the no offensive. The two cheeks is not gonna score an offensive touchdown.
Oh man.
Give me Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh. You know what? I'm going to be nice. They're going to get one touchdown. The rest is field goals. 13-7.
Ezra's going just about the same score as you, Steven. He's going the Steelers over the Broncos 19-7.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh 21-14 over Denver this week.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to go with the Steelers as well. I'm going to go Steelers. I'll go Steelers 16, Broncos 9.
Interesting.
All right. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting game coming up here. After a disappointing loss last week, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals going into KC to take on Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, after what I see from the Bengals the last 3 years early in the season, I'm going Kansas City. In Arrowhead, no T. Higgins again. Give me Kansas City, but here's my thing. I think it's going to be 31-27 Kansas City. Cincinnati scores a last-second garbage touchdown to fuck up my parlay for a second week in a row. Calling it now. Another $500 I'll lose because of damn Cincinnati. The Bugles. So it's really going to be more. It's going to be more of a blowout than what the damn score suggests. Thank you, Cincinnati.
Oh God.
Oh, but I'm going to go in and give Ezra a score here. He's got the Chiefs over the Bengals 28-20.
Hey, that'll help my parlay.
I'll give something to help Kevin's parlay, all right. Give me KC. Give me KC. Give me the Chiefs 31-20. There you go, Kev.
Thank you. There we go. Maybe we pray Steven talks it into existence.
All right.
Taking the Chiefs with the spread.
All right. Well, I got Kansas City in this one. Kansas City is going to come out and score 28 unanswered points in the first half, and they will end up beating Cincinnati because Cincinnati is going to falter and scramble in the second half to try to catch up, but they won't. 41-28 Kansas City.
You know what? I'm going to follow Kevin's little parlay thing too. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. I'm going to go 34-28.
That would hit my parlay. Just so you know.
All right, actually, you know what? Sorry, I said the wrong score. 34-21. Sorry.
Okay, that would definitely hit. Okay, that's better.
That's going to be our next
right.
thing we're going to be keeping track is Kevin's parlay. How's it looking?
Yeah, when I break my TV, then I'm a resemble Cowboy fans in the playoffs when I break my TV. Take on damn parlay miss for $500.
All that money.
Someone like the damn Patriots
nothing.
upsets the Sea Chickens or some shit.
Wow. Okay, up next, Sunday Night Football. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears going into Houston to take on C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink this one. Caleb might have a bright future, but that offensive line is still putrid. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. Danielle Hunter and company, Will Anderson, going to get after it. Give me Houston in this one, 31-14.
Same score as me, 31-14 Houston.
Almost the same score as me, 34-14 Houston.
I got Houston on this one, 21-17.
All right, and Ezra, he's going against his Bears in this one. He's going to Texans over the Bears, 31-24.
Okay.
All right, and last but not least, Monday Night Football on ESPN next Monday night. Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons going into Philly to take on the Eagles. I'll go ahead and give Ezra scoring this one. He's got the Eagles over the Falcons 27-18.
Okay.
35-14 Philadelphia.
Okay.
24-13 Philadelphia.
23-14 Eagles.
Okay, here's my scenario. I got the Eagles winning 31-17, but I got the Eagles going up 31-0 because Kirk Cousins, again, prime time, the sun goes down, he's like a vampire. He's about to throw 4 picks and get replaced by Michael Penix Jr. And Michael Penix Jr. scores 17 and takes them back, but the Eagles still got too much with Saquon. So give me the Eagles 31-17.
And then Kevin's here's a little nice little segue with Kevin's little scenario here. They're gonna be asking, hey, so 2 weeks in Atlanta, what you gonna do about it? You gonna keep paying? You gonna keep having the $100 million man as your quarterback? You gonna let the rookie be your quarterback?
Well, I mean, the Giants still letting Daniel Jones be the quarterback. So, I mean, Kirk Cousins might be a little safe.
This is
But
true.
now, all right, well, that pulls the plug on our week 2 predictions. And, well, I got to say, I guess Kevin had to follow in the game in the winner's footsteps because Kevin and Steven picked the exact same picks all the way across the board.
The schedule
all
was
the way
pretty,
across the board.
the schedule was pretty easy to pick.
It's rigged. It's set up.
Yeah, I don't know this time.
And so if my parlay don't hit this week, Steven, I'm coming for you. My parlay.
Yeah, and I almost picked the same as Kevin and Steven, but my only difference is I'm picking the Rams over the Cardinals. That's my only difference.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, I got to get ready to roll because I'm going to be starting my shift shortly. Appreciate y'all letting me jump on with y'all for week 2.
Yes, sir.
As we know, the Oakland Ballers made the playoffs in their first season in the Pioneer Baseball League, the PBL. They are currently playing right now against the YOLO High Wheelers and losing 8-4 in the bottom of the 8th. But I will be live at Ramundi Park for Game 2 on Thursday night. So I will try to record some footage and have it ready for the show next week because it's going to actually be packed. They will have 4,000 people out there in a sold-out house for the first playoff game in Oakland.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So you guys know where to reach me. You guys can reach me at Mr. Mac or Hijacker Mike, or you can follow me on my cigar review channel, Smoke in the Bay Cigar Review. Boys, it's good doing predictions with you for week 2. See y'all next week.
All right, Hijacker,
got
peace
it.
out.
Yes,
Got it,
sir.
brother.
Bye, guys. Peace.
Yep. He's out of there.
Hey,
That's our boy.
4,000 people. Hey, that's more people than the Rams have at their home games, pumping all that crowd noise in. Shout out. That's what's up. More. Nobody likes to go to
Wait a
LA.
minute, Cam. That's also more fans than the Charger fans when they were playing at that freaking soccer stadium. Remember that?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, so I guess you guys are gonna immediately count up the fact that the Panthers are only gonna have 40 fans at this game.
Yeah, tickets
Sunday?
are $5 a piece being sold at the nearest Dollar Tree.
You know what? I'm gonna go on StubHub just for shits and giggles and see how much the tickets are.
I done did. I went on SeatGeek and they were $15.
Jesus.
Hey, I've been hearing a rumor that you know how Bojangles has that partnership with the Panthers.
Yes.
I've been hearing rumors that they're going to start putting Carolina Panthers tickets in the bow boxes.
I would not go to get a
Oh,
boat
wait. You know what they should do? And I'm not trying. Blame me if this happens. They need to have a giveaway. Hey, one random person is going to win 2 tickets to a Panthers home game.
No. 2 season tickets to Carolina Panthers home games.
And if you lose, you get 2 dozens of eggs to throw at David Tepper. There we go. At least make it worth your while.
Yes.
The owner.
Yes.
Hey, here's some biscuits. Here you go, big fellas, and then throw to the offensive lineman.
You know what? Let me just add one more thing before I get off here. I remember Hijacker making up the point about the 49ers coming out and getting Wi-Fi and stuff because they are hosting the Super Bowl in 2 years, so they're trying to upgrade their stadium. When that happened, let me just tell you how mad I was because I'm sitting here in the midst of a Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk contract situation. I'm like, instead of paying my players, you want to pay for Wi-Fi? Instead of paying Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk, you're spending that money on Wi-Fi. I was so heated over that. I could have went and damn popped Jed York in the back of the head with my shoe.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I wonder how bad the Wi-Fi is at that stadium. Like, it must be pretty bad.
Well, they upgraded it and upgraded the VIP seats and all kind of stuff. So I'm imagine it's for the Super Bowl in 2 years because in 2026, the Santa Clara and Levi Stadium's hosting the Super Bowl.
Nice. But I will say real quick, Kevin, before you do get off, I've also been hearing rumors that whenever the time comes for the Panthers and the Giants to go to Germany to play that trash of a game, I heard they're going to be enrolled in a offensive school all week.
Yeah, and I heard the plane that drops them off is going to come from the military, and they're just going to go back to base without them, leave them stranded. Stranded in Germany.
So they can't come home. Got it.
No, can't come home. If they come home, they will be shot down in the sky.
Oh, Kev, before you do leave, Kev, we
Yeah.
do got to talk about this Dak Prescott contract because it's so funny because Jerry Jones finally, opens up his big ass wallet and says, "Here you go, fella," and gives him this money. And I'm like, dude, you can pay him whatever you want. He could be the highest paid player in NFL history, but it still won't matter.
Nope, it won't matter. But at the same time, the way I look at it is like the glass half full. Like, if you take Dak off right now, who's going to be your quarterback? At the very minimum, we know they choke, but at the very minimum, Dak will do his thing in the regular season and get him into the playoffs. Now, they're going to choke in the playoffs, yes. But if you put Cooper Rush or anybody else on that Cowboys team, they don't even make the playoffs. So Jerry's thinking is literally, you got to be in it to win it. So at least at the very minimum, we're in it. And based off the market, I thought that was good to go ahead and pay Dak because if they would have waited till he was a pure free agent, I would have told you what was going to happen. Some team like the dumbass Raiders or the Saints is going to offer that man $75 million and beg him. Someone who needs a quarterback is going to beg him for a shit ton of rich money that Jerry Jones can't match, and then they would have lost that. So I like the contract, like in totality. When you look at the long term, I do like it because if you're paying Trevor Lawrence that, you better pay Dak Prescott more. That's just a fact of life. If you're paying Daniel Jones that, you better pay Dak Prescott more. He's better than both of them on his right hand on a bad day.
Yep.
The only thing that makes Dak get criticized more than he really should, I will say this, not even defending the Cowboy, is because of the star on his helmet. Because we can look all we want about Dak's numbers, but Josh Allen led the league in interceptions last year, and no one blinked an eye. The year before, Dak Prescott led the league in interceptions, and the whole world was on fire, turned upside down. So the reality of it is that in the playoffs, it's not always Dak's fault. I mean, we know he doesn't step up. And, I mean, it is what it is. He don't sit there and throw 20 picks or nothing or pull a Lamar Jackson and throw an interception when you got a chance to tie the game. But, I mean, does Dak give up 40 points to the Green Bay Packers? No. That's Michael Parsons and that defense, so-called haunted defense. They don't – I mean, between coaching, it's everybody. Dak just gets the shit into the stick because that's who people want to blame the most. They want to play the blame game. But
That
it's
is
more,
true.
and it is what it is. But we can't sit there and act like Dak isn't better than Trevor Lawrence because I've seen Dak in the regular season. I've seen him torch defenses. The only thing that people jump on Dak about, let me just say this, is because when Dak has the highest of ceilings and the lowest of lows, and that's just how it is. When Dak is on, oh, he's on. He's like Kirk Cousins against us last year, 400 yards passing on. But when Dax hits his floor and he's having a bad day, oh, it's bad. That's the worst.
It's real bad.
I'd rather have a quarterback have a lower ceiling but a very higher floor, so they're not awful. So that's where I'm at with it, and that's the only thing about Dak. But as far as the market and the money, it's a good deal. I'm glad. Jerry better be glad he got it done.
Now, as far as that is concerned, where do you distribute the money for Micah Parsons and for Diggs? Because we know their deals are coming up, and if we're being honest, you cannot keep all of these players, on the same team unless you take a massive pay cut.
Well, I necessarily don't agree with that because I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles who just paid Jalen Hurts. They still are able to afford A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley.
Right.
What's his name? Josh Sweat. It's about, can you get some rookie players at other positions so you can afford them big players? I mean, the San Francisco 49ers are another one. You're able to, of course, Brock Purdy being only on $1 million contract helps, but you're able to afford Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Fred Warner, George Kittle, like Charvarius Ward. I mean, there's ways you can manipulate the cap. There's ways you can turn stuff into signing bonuses. There's money you can save now and roll it over. And that's what, like the 49ers right now, they are actually over in cap space by like $70 million in cap room. But you know what John Lynch is going to do? He's going to save that money, roll it over when next year starts. That's what's going to help them keep that roster together. That's what they do. They restructure contracts. So there's no reason Jerry Jones and his $1 billion team should not to be able to afford 4 top players.
Right.
I know Dak's getting $60 million and CD's getting 35, but hell, where the 49ers, Nick Bosa's getting $34 million, Brandon Ayuk's getting $30 million,
True.
Debo's getting $25 million, Christian McCaffrey's getting $20 million. So why can't the Cowboys pay the extra $30 million to Michael Parsons?
Correct.
They should have no problem.
Correct.
Their thing is they just have to draft well. Because some players do have to go, but your core has to be your core for a reason. You're going to have to pull that money out. You're just going to have to draft at positions. Deron Bland's going to need a deal soon. Are you going to let him walk or are you going to try to draft another corner? I mean,
exactly.
Safety, linebackers, D-line. DeMarcus Lawrence probably will be gone. But can you go in the draft in the first round pick next year and draft a DN to replicate DeMarcus Lawrence? If you can, then guess what? That's a win. You're still able to pay Micah and get enough productivity from your other DN. So
that's right.
It's just about how can you scout talent. That's basically it.
Fair points. Great.
But I also like to say one more thing before I get off, Joey. You better be lucky I'm a prick because yesterday I could have been this close because I know what your plan was. When I first heard the McCaffrey news, I could have went and dropped Brooks from Carolina and picked up Jordan Mason just so you wouldn't have Jordan Mason. But I didn't do that. That's cheap and slimy. I wouldn't do that. I could have, though. I just want you to know. Be mindful. I could have been slimy and picked up Jordan Mason and kept him on my bench.
I'll tell you what,
just so you wouldn't do it.
Tell you what, when I heard that Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to play, I was like, man, I got to go pick up somebody. Let me go pick up Jordan Mason. And I was like, please let him be available. Please let him be available. Yes. Got him.
Yeah, I seen that at like 5 o'clock, and I was like, "Damn, Jordan Mason's available. I could pick him up and drop Jonathan Brooks because that would have guaranteed me a win, really. Because it would have McCaffrey.
Yeah,
I would have had to win, but I said that's slimy. I ain't gonna do that. I'll let Joey take this win because I know Jordan Mason about to damn turn up. I could have been slimy though, but I didn't. I wasn't gonna do it. And I said, I live to play another day.
Exactly. It's just getting started.
Well, I will say on a quick note here, Kevin, I was able to pick up NBA 2K24 on my Xbox a couple days ago. It took forever to finally get it to download. But once I did, the game I played yesterday was the Warriors against the Hornets. And as the Warriors, I beat the Hornets 98-55.
Well, damn, you're playing on rookie mode. Yeah, I had my player playing the Hornets, and I had 35 points, 47 rebounds, 51 assists. And 20 I think I won MVP of that series too.
Yeah, no kidding.
They looked at me like I was a modern day Wilt Chamberlain.
What? He had 35, 47, and 55. What?
In Kevin Harlan's voice, a ton of points, a ton of assists, and a ton of rebounds. Oh, I miss Kevin Harlan saying that. And the Warriors win a ton of points to a ton of points.
They have hit a ton of threes in this game. Too bad on the Madden game. Too bad on the Madden games. You can't get them cats or whatever or those streakers are running down the field. Like, hey, look at this guy. Look at this drunk guy in the hat. He's running down the field. The 40.
You think
the 30,
they should?
the
Hell,
40.
they put my fucking offensive lineman at receivers half the damn time on a glitch. You think they could put some streakers in the game?
He's running down the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
Kevin Harlan is hilarious when he said that. I wish they put Kevin Harlan in the NFL.
Oh, I know. Like
what a catch by Ayuk! I can hear him getting excited over a deep pass. Somebody, because you know they got the one-handed catches in the new Madden now, so I can imagine Ayuk up to 30. Oh, what a snag by Ayuk! Because he don't call him Ayuk, he calls him Ayuk. Oh, what a snag by Ayuk! One-handed grab. I can hear him now.
He's just the best. I mean, he has been doing this for 40 years. I mean, he is hands down my favorite commentator, right now.
Hey, he definitely gets you pumped up. He's so hyped and screaming at. Oh, every time someone has it done, he throws down the hammer.
I love when he would go, "Ride 'em, cowboy." You just.
Oh, he said, LeBron James, no regard for human life.
Yep.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah,
and then of course nothing will beat him calling the kitty cat scoring a touchdown. He was when the cat was and there's the cat and the cat's in for a touchdown.
What was that game? Was that the Giants and the Cowboys?
I think it was the Rams and
the Cowboys. It was the Cowboys because someone said, "Damn, the cat scored more touchdowns than Zeke." I remember it was the Cowboys and the Rams.
I'll post that video in our chat because there is a video compilation of Harlan's calls.
Someone said, "Damn, the cat found the end zone more than the Cowboys offense." What the hell?
I love the one guy that ran on the field drunk during the Rams and Niners game, and he gets tackled, and the game was a blowout, and Harlan sighs, and Kurt Warner goes, "Oh, that was the best call of the game, Kevin. Now I'm ready to complete the rest of this game." And then Harlan goes, "Buddy, I hope you're ready to spend a night at the Clink tonight." Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Shout outs to him, man. He's the best.
Yeah, he definitely is. Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. It was good doing the predictions with y'all.
Yeah, man. See you next week, bro.
And good talking about the week one, and hopefully week two I won't be talking about the Bengals or the Patriots fucking up my parlay again. So, we'll see how that goes.
Well, maybe one day you'll finish. Maybe one day you'll finish your story like Cody Rhodes did at WrestleMania 40.
Well, I know who ain't finishing that story the way they played against the Patriots. That's Joe Burrow, aka Cody Rhodes. Jesus Christ, son, you need to get a whole new chapter in that story because you just lost to the Bengals. Will the real Joe Burrow please stand up?
I repeat, will the real Joe Burrow please stand up?
I don't know if that was Slim Shady or damn a wannabe Slim Shady. But anyway, I'm off here, guys.
Yeah, I ain't never seen a quarterback before.
That's for sure.
Oh no, he didn't. He ain't finishing his story.
We were basically going, y'all ain't like y'all seen a quarterback before.
That is hilarious. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off here, y'all.
Later, man. See you next week.
Later, guys.
All right, Cap. What's that, bro?
31. That's great. Oh man, terrific, terrific.
But yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it for sports. But I do want to get your opinion on something real quick, Steven, before we head off here for the night.
Yep.
I know we're not a wrestling show, but we like to talk about wrestling every once in a while. But what do you think about the big news that dropped yesterday saying that starting October 7th and going until the end of the year, Monday Night Raw is going back to 2 hours?
I like it because this reminds me of the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era when Raw used to be a 2 hour show from 9 to 11. Well, now obviously it's going to be 8 to 10, which is fine. Because when it goes to Netflix, they're probably going to keep the 2 hour format because if you really think about it, it's going to be like a 3 hour Raw because there won't be any commercial breaks really.
Exactly. That is very true.
And this also shows me that if you are going to be on a 2 hour Raw, that means you have to be proven that they're going to be able to trust you to be on television to get storylines over.
Exactly.
You're going to be at the talent that want to be on television with the 2 hour format. You're going to have to prove that you can be up there with the Drew McIntyres, the CM Punks of the world, Seth Rollins, and the Judgment Day, and Rhea, and Liv, and Dominic, and all of those.
Absolutely. And of course, this Friday starts the beginning of a new era. SmackDown on USA Network.
And eventually, everything's going to move to Netflix, which is going to be great.
Yep. Steven, do you have anything else you want to talk about tonight?
As far as non-sports related, I do want to give a quick review of a concert that I was at last night, or Sunday night, excuse me. I went to Rival Sons and Clutch at the Ritz in Raleigh. It was a co-headlining tour, and the opening band was a band called Fu Manchu. They've been around since the 90s, and they've been around since kind of the same time as Clutch, but Clutch and Rival Sons sold me on this tour because this is a co-headlining tour, and they're both rotating every 3 nights or so, headlining at each venue they're playing at. Clutch headlined the first 3 shows, and Rival Sons is headlining the next 3. Raleigh was the first show that they headlined on this tour, and then they're playing tonight in Pittsburgh, and that tour continues. And just a great show. Through all 3 bands, all live, no tricks, no trickery, no backing tracks. All killer, no filler. Just all 3 bands sounded great. I mean, Neil Fallon and Clutch, those guys sounded great. Jay Buchanan, Michael Miley, and Scott Holiday, and Dave Dave, I think is Beast on bass. Just a great band. Just great. Rival Sons were great. The guys in Clutch were great. All original members in Clutch. It's hard to keep. It's since they've been recording. It's all original members. I mean, it's crazy. It's hard to keep a band, for so many years. And Fu Manchu they were awesome. Had a Black Sabbath kind of vibe to their sound. Just 3 bands up there doing their thing. Good crowd, good vibes, great energy. Definitely, if there was another show coming from this tour close to here, I would definitely go again because that was awesome. As soon as those tickets went on sale, I bought the tickets immediately because I was like, I'm not missing this. And Clutch played the entire Blast Tyrant record, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. They played that front to back, and other songs from their catalog, such as Space Grass and Electric Worry. And Rival Sons, they played a good hour 15-20 set. They played stuff from their latest record. They played stuff from the great Western Valkyrie album, which they were kind of celebrating a little bit because it is the 10th anniversary of that album. They played a couple of songs from their Rival Sons EP. They played the title track from the Pressure and Time record. They played 3 songs from the I think it's Feral Roots album. They played Feral Roots, the title track. Then they played Do Your Worst, and obviously Too Bad. But it just, again, all killer, real, live, authentic music, the way music should be. No tricks, no trickery. And that's kind of leads me back to sports in a way because I am so disappointed as a music person because year after year, the NFL constantly goes against rock music in the halftime show. I get it. It's tough to get, the bands plugged in and plugged out, quickly because they want to be able to just plug in a pop act or a rapper, or whatever, R&B singer, because all you got to do is just run tracks and get the person's microphone. I get it, but still. The last true rock band that they had was The Who in 2010. And then the year before it was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. I mean, used to be it was so diverse. But now it's just predominantly rap and hip hop and R&B. And I have nothing against that because everybody gets to have a say so at the table, if you say so. But Kendrick Lamar being the headliner at the halftime show, I don't know about that. I mean, nothing against Lamar.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about that too.
I
am
mean,
kind of on the fence about that. I'm not gonna lie.
because my thing is when you listen to these games on television or on the radio or at the games, they are predominantly playing rock music in these stadiums. They're playing Metallica. They're playing Guns N' Roses. They're playing AC/DC. They're playing Ozzy. They're playing all of these rock bands. And there's even been some bands like Rival Sons, like Greta Van Fleet, and other bands that have been featured in commercials that have been played during the NFL season. I mean, Rival Sons is Pressure in Time. That's why, funny story, because when I was going to the Rockville Festival last year, I remember looking through Rival Sons' music and going, I recognize one of these songs, and then the vocal came on. I was like, oh, I know this. And the reason why I knew it is because the NFL played this truck commercial. I can't remember what company it is, but that song was played in the commercial. And I was like, man, that is so cool. That they're not an unknown rock band, but they're not a popular band. They're not a mainstream. Everybody knows who they are. Either
I think I remember that commercial. Wasn't it a GMC, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken?
it was. Yes, it was GMC, because whoever was running that commercial must have been a Rival Sons fan. Because Eddie Trunk did ask that to J.B. Cannon, the lead singer. He said, somebody must be a fan of yours because that commercial kept playing with your band's music in that commercial throughout the entire season a couple years ago. He said, yeah, the guy at GMC, must be a huge fan of ours. And it's like, hey, we like you guys. We want to use one of your songs, in our commercial. We said, sure, go ahead. And they used Pressure in Time. I was like, I recognize this band. What is that? I like that because I couldn't pinpoint what it was. And then going to that festival last year, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I know who this is now. Because I discovered that band a couple of years ago thanks to my cousin. He was like, man, if you're into this kind of a classic rock vibe, I was like, of course. That's what I grew up on, with classic rock. It's like, you'll like these guys. And I was like, man, these guys are badass. And just, again, if this tour is coming near you, you don't want to miss it. Clutch, Rival Sons, coming to a city near you. They're touring throughout this month and the beginning of next month into my birthday, with a headlining show in Vegas on my birthday. I don't know. I might decide to go to Vegas for my birthday. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. That'll be fun if I decide to do that. But I don't know.
Yeah,
because the cool thing about the second leg of this tour is Blackstone Cherry is opening up. And that's another great band. I mean, either which way, either which city of this tour package is coming near you, all three killer bands. Fu Manchu on the first leg, and then on September 28th, Blackstone Cherry will be picking up that second part of the North American leg. Just, again, great night of live music on Sunday. Just, man, it was great. It was great. And as far as that is concerned, I think I'm good.
All right,
Joey,
well, let's
give me
go
your
and give
final
our
thoughts.
final thoughts. I'll go ahead and go first. Awesome show tonight. It was great having all five of us at one point, even though Ezra had to, of course, leave a little bit early because he wasn't feeling the best. Again, love and prayers going up for you, Ezra, bro. Hope you start feeling better soon. But yeah, it was great. Going over some of the games from last week and going over our pick segments for week number 2 of the NFL season. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Steven, wrap this up, brother.
Yep. Great show with you guys. Definitely had a great time tonight. And getting to do this every week, and man, especially since the NFL is hot and heavy. It's back up and running. We're loving it. We're loving every minute of it. Hey, a Loverboy reference. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyways, again, great concert on Sunday with Rival Sons and Clutch and Fu Manchu at the Ritz in Raleigh. Incredible night of live music from all three bands. And again, if this tour is coming near you with Fu Manchu on the bill, check it out. Go to the band's social medias and check that stuff out. And of course, again, the second leg of this tour will have Blackstone Cherry in the lineup with Rival Sons and Clutch. Every other show rotating who closes each night. But what a great night here with you guys here on the Sports Show. And for those that are tuning in on demand and afterwards, thank you very much for tuning in. And you can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, or whenever the hell we can get live, depending upon our schedule. But most of the time, it is Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. And also don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner, Facebook at Nation's Corner, and YouTube at the Nation's Corner, where the guys and the gal recap the world of professional wrestling, including AEW All Out from this past Saturday night in Chicago. Overall, thought it was a pretty solid show. Monday Night Raw was last night. Good show last night from everybody involved. Loving the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk storyline. It will culminate at Bad Blood. 27 years to the date of the first Hell in a Cell between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. It will be the end of a trilogy. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. Also, you got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. And just announced last night, you got Damian Priest challenging Finn Balor of the newly Judgment Day. And also, as to be expected, this will be confirmed down the line. You will have Gunther versus Sami Zayn. That's what it's looking like for the world title. So far, Bad Blood is shaping up to be a damn good PLE. Damn good show. And this Friday on the first edition of SmackDown of this new season of SmackDown on USA, it will be the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes taking on Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match. Very surprised this is not happening at Bad Blood, but we shall see where this is headed. Because this is very interesting to give a title match on network television for free. Again, if you're a wrestling fan, obviously tomorrow is AEW Dynamite, the fallout from All Out in Chicago. Be very interested to see where this storyline with Jon Moxley goes, since the BCC has turned on the AEW World Champion in Bryan Danielson. It'll be interesting to see where that goes and all that stuff. And obviously Friday is the season premiere of SmackDown on USA on September the 13th. And again, folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been a great show with you guys. Again, for those that tune in tonight live, thank you very much. And for those that tune in on demand, thank you very much as well. So with that being said, for KR, Kevin Roy, for JT, Joey Thornton, for Ezra Vickery, for Hijacker Mike, I've been your host for this second half of the show, Stephen Wyand, and we will see you next week for another edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care of each other. Be good to one another. Make memories with each other. Enjoy spending time with your family and your friends. Go out there and make the best of every single day. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the RSSLIN, that's wrestling, watching wrestling, and the football, and the sports. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Turn me up. Turn me up.